Hello and welcome to the Gamers Table. It is Monday and we're reviewing 24 Countdown.
Someone took the license, say, hey, we can make some money on this. Let's just slap something together and throw it out the store shelves. All right.
Uncover or defeat the terrorists before time runs out. Collect technology cards and accumulate as many points as possible to remain in the game and win. This is essentially a very simple trick-taking game.
Too simple.
The object is to not run out of cards. If you're the terrorist, you have a slight advantage that your terrorist card, if it becomes your last card, will take pretty much every trick except for the Jack Bauer card. And if somebody plays a Jack Bauer card and takes a lucky guess and finds that you're the terrorist, then they win.
You have 24 hours, you know the show, to play the game. Each game round is 1 hour and it counts down. Unlikely you're going to get anywhere close to 1. So, you have your hand of 7 cards that, unless you win a trick, is slowly going to diminish. As long as you have 5s or lower, you're probably not taking a trick at all. So, as they said, you're going to be out of the game. If you manage to take a trick, you can take one of the gold super smarty cards that are just going to hurt you, or you can get 2 more cards to stay in the game longer. But there's the problem. The game sucks. Why do you want to stay in the game longer? Get rid of your cards as soon as possible. You can be eliminated from the game because there's player elimination. Then you can go play bang your head against the wall. Hit yourself in the head with a hammer. Igor recommends that one.
So there's 3 different suits in this game. You got Intel, Gear, and Science. And whoever won the trick last round leads. You could play any suit you want, but the suit that's highlighted on the board is considered trump and the only one capable of winning the trick.
And when you win a trick, you can either take 2 tech cards or an action card and play it right away.
And it's important to have tech cards, as when your hand is empty,
You're out.
Bye-bye. Game over, man.
The only reason you'd ever want to take an action card is hoping that you'd be able to pass your terrorist card off to somebody else. Beyond that, don't touch them. Hey, if someone's grabbing the action card deck, I think they're the terrorist. Accuse them.
It's one of the tech cards, and you take the terrorist card and however many players you're playing and shuffle that many cards together, and everybody takes one secretly. Don't show people that you're the terrorist.
Sorry, lad.
If the terrorist is your last card in your hand, you can play it to win a trick. Otherwise, you cannot play the terrorist card at all. You just have to hold on to it. Somebody else can accuse you of being the terrorist with a Jack Bauer card.
It's possible to become the terrorist, too, and take it away from someone else.
Yes.
Jack Bauer card is also like a super card as well, as far as taking anything.
It's all suits, and always it's 24 points, so it's the highest.
Even the contraband cards, there's a contraband for each suit, and they're worth 12 points. So Jack Bauer, like, twice as strong.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's really not much to this game. The game suggests you pick up the action cards, like take a risk, but I'm sorry, almost all these action cards are bad. They're a bad idea to take. You're better off taking the technology cards. I'm not sure why you'd want to take action cards.
There's not...
Yeah, most of them get rid of cards out of your hand.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can take a trick, if you're lucky enough to get the highest card in that suit or whatever, then it's better to just take 2 cards and keep your hand full because, like you said, as soon as you're out of those cards, you're done. And that doesn't take long either.
The good thing about it, though, is you don't have to follow suit. So if somebody lays down a 9 science and you've only got a 7 science, you don't have to throw your 7 science away. You could throw down a gear card. You're not going to win the trick. But you don't have to throw away that science card because you're like hoping, okay, well, they got rid of all theirs. Maybe too far down when we get to 20, mine will be highest and I'll get to take a trick there. So, there's a little bit of strategy.
They got a big game box for a board that was really not very necessary as far as I'm concerned. This is a card game. You could have put this in a card box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I guess they make a bigger box so you feel like you're getting more out of the game.
This is your Dungeons & Dragons update. Recently released is the new faction pack for Dungeon Command, Tyranny of Goblins. if you haven't seen any of these before, obviously you get quite a few different things. You get a set of cards for all your monsters. You get a set of order cards that will allow you to command those monsters with extra abilities. And you also get a set of cards that allow you to mix these figures in with the Castle Ravenloft, Wrath of Ashardalon, and Legend of Drizzt cooperative board games. You also get double-sided dungeon tiles. And these dungeon tiles also will blend into those cooperative games that I mentioned. And you get 2 different leaders to choose from, a rule book, chits, tokens, and the like, and a bunch of detailed miniatures, all painted for your playing enjoyment. This game can play up to 4 players. You can play with one player's faction, or you can split this in half and have a 2-player game right out of the box. So you only need to buy one to start your collection of this. And each one, as I said, comes with a rulebook. The rulebook, the covers are different, but the rules are pretty much the same rules in each one, and they all have this handy-dandy list of all the orders on the back of everything you're supposed to do and the order you're supposed to do it in. So it's a really nice set. I like that they're using the Dungeons and Dragons miniatures that many of you have seen before. And they're all painted, very nicely done. This game is fairly easy to understand because it's just put your figures out, move them the speed they have, and attack. Possibly play some of your special order cards on the creature. Then the other player has his turn, then back to you, and back and forth, until somebody runs out of morale. And now for the gaming news. Mayfair Games is known for quality, family-friendly entertainment, and this year those games walked down the runway, courtesy of fashion mavens Playchick and designer Miriam Cecilia Carlson. Miriam Cecilia created 2 brilliant designs inspired by the themes and resources of Catan that brought the game's spirit of hope, adventure, and play to life on the runway. The Playchick event brought top fashion talent, star models such as Dragana, mommy bloggers, and the game industry together for a one-of-a-kind blend of playful styles and high fashion. There was even an appearance on the runway by Mayfair president Larry Rosny. Wrapping up for 24 Countdown. I give 24 Countdown a 4. Theme is about this TV show 24. Well, they say Jack Bauer a lot, and his pictures on the cards. Other than that, it's a simple trick-taking game with possibility of 24 rounds that you probably won't ever use.
And these crazy action cards, which just either
Yeah.
screw you up or...
So if Jack Bauer spent his time playing cards instead of catching terrorists, maybe then the theme would hold. Not so much. Easy to play. Yeah, really easy to play. Mind-numbingly easy to play. You play the purple, I will play a purple. Then I will play a green. And then, on top of that, fun to play? No. I mean, this is what happens a lot of times when you get a licensed game. It goes to somebody who's just in it to make a buck.
You want to take a chance on it? Go ahead. It's your money. I'm going to give it a 3.5. It's not a very good game. It's very dull, very simplistic. I don't find this entertaining at all.
I give CTU Countdown a 4. It's just a simple, very, very simple trick-taking game. I think the action cards, the passing, the cards left to right, the only advantage to that is if you're the terrorist. Oh, quick, I don't want to be the terrorist because, if I get accused by someone playing a Jack Bauer card, then I lose.
Yeah.
So maybe it makes sense to pass the terrorist card, but beyond that...
Well, you might get lucky too and get a higher number that way too. Who knows?
But I wouldn't touch the action cards otherwise. I'll go with Craig on this one. It's a trick-taking game. Normally I like trick-taking games, but this one's just not very deep at all. It's not very good. I mean, they have one aspect of the game where as soon as you do a round, you shuffle the cards all back in. Like you can't even count the cards to get an idea of if you might have the highest at that point because it all got shuffled in every single round. So it's not very good. Not very good at all. 4. That's generous.
That's it for this episode of the Gamers Table. Tune in next Monday where we review another game.
'Cause that's what we do. But
Frank's elbows in the shot.
hey, get out of my close-ups.
This is the first close-up.
What is that, an elbow? I see that.
Look, the other guys are sitting beside it. That's right, only a 4, not a 24, not a 14, but a 4. It's a trick-taking game. It's not a good trick-taking game, but it's a trick-taking game. And Ken's a moron, but we already knew that. You watch this show regularly, right? And you, click.
It's one small step for man,